Now, I think it's pretty safe to say that by far, one of the most interesting and mysterious aspects of the Star Wars sequel trilogy has all to do with Reys Lineage and exactly who she really is and where she comes from. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars content. So, the character of Rey, we've known her since The Force Awakens, ever since J.J. Abrams introduced her, and we also know that J.J. has big plans for the character of Rey in Episode 9 that's really going to blow the fans away in an unexpected way that's going to really make us look back at The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi in a different light. Now, these past couple of weeks or so, we've been learning a whole lot more about this film, and when it all comes down to one of the concept art descriptions as well as one of the big plans by J.J. Abrams, George Lucas, and others involved with this project, this is where things begin to get very exciting for this movie. Now, specifically, what's really exciting about all of this is that it's described that during the rewrites of the film for the months of November and December of 2018 is when Disney, Lucasfilm, and J.J. Abrams allowed Lucas to be involved in the writing process in a significant way. It said that one of the massive changes to the script by George Lucas involved the lineage of Rey being changed, and that it was George's idea to add in Rey's last name as one of the big revelations of the film. It's described that George Lucas based Rey's lineage off of a Legends character from the expanded universe, that her last name that will be revealed in the film is said to have a big impact on the prequels and the originals. Additionally, it's said that Rey's last name is to be very unexpected for the audience, and that it will also change many pieces of Star Wars lore in the current canon material that falls under Disney. It's also described that Rey's last name is said to be revealed by a popular legacy character from the original trilogy era that fans will not see coming, and that John Williams is composing a track that will be dedicated for the reveal to create an emotional impact on the audience. Additionally, it's said that Disney and Lucasfilm are in negotiations of using Rey's last name on future merchandise, such as figurines and saber replicas, to make her true identity well known to the fans. So let's go over a couple of parts about this. Now, we do know that Rey's identity / her lineage is going to be a big deal in Episode 9. J.J. Abrams has expressed this before numerous times, that there is a lot more to the story about Rey's parents, and that is all going to be explained in Episode 9. Even Daisy Ridley hinted at this the other day with USA Today, where she said that we are going to know everything, all the burning questions from The Force Awakens. We're going to know everything that we need to know in Episode 9 regarding her character. And that's great and all, because we do know that this movie does need a lot of explanation of what was not necessarily answered in The Last Jedi. I think that a lot of fans seem to be mixed with the decision of Rey being a nobody coming from nobodies. And I think that fact that it's, a split fan base there, where one side embraces the idea of Rey being a nobody, whereas the other side would rather her be more special, if you will, right? See, if you look at the character of Anakin Skywalker, technically he was a nobody, but we knew who he was ultimately going to become. We knew that he was going to become Darth Vader, and I think that's one of the big reasons as to why, though, yes, Anakin was born through the Force, he wasn't necessarily a special character at the time when he was born or as a kid. His mother was just Shmi Skywalker. Nobody that relevant, right? Nobody that crazy important in the Star Wars franchise. But we do know that he was going to become Darth Vader. See, that's the thing, in my point of view, that separates the whole Anakin thing from Rey, is that with Rey in this story, we don't really know exactly where she's going. And the fact that J.J. Abrams really is going to introduce her last name with George Lucas, the fact that George Lucas played a large role in that, of creating Rey's last name and how it's going to be revealed by one of the legacy characters, that could very well indicate that Palpatine, Kenobi, Luke, or maybe even Anakin is going to reveal Rey's last name. It could even be Yoda for all we know. And that last name is actually in negotiations by Disney and Lucasfilm to be used for future merchandise. We're talking about figurines, we're talking about saber replicas, we're also talking about everything like products to Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, many weeks after it has already released. And I think what's great about that is that if you look at the character of even Finn, it's quite a funny story, because not a lot of people really think about this, but even the character of Finn, we don't really know who he is. Finn's a made-up name. That's not a real name. So a lot of people are wondering what's going on with Finn in The Rise of Skywalker as well. But anyways, I digress. Back to Rey. What's really intriguing about that is how George Lucas based Rey's lineage off of a popular Legends character. Now, does that necessarily mean that she's a Legends character? Not necessarily, but she is based off of a character's lineage from the expanded universe, which is very interesting. She could very well be based on one of the fan favorites that are very well known in the books and the novels from the 1990s and the early 2000s, for all we know. Now, the last piece that I do want to go over is Rey's last name being used in future merchandise. Is that a good or a bad idea? I honestly think I would embrace that idea, because if you look at Luke Skywalker, he's Luke Skywalker. If you look at Anakin Skywalker, that's who he is. But with the new protagonist in the sequel trilogy, you need to have that last name on the merchandise if it's going to be revealed in the film, which is really great. Anyways, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.